We're joined by the Vice Chairman of the full committee. Senator Murray is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General Bondi, we are in a deeply alarming moment where law and order is being replaced by chaos and corruption and really whatever Trump wants. And your department's independence and its capacity to do its job have eroded before our eyes. We have seen respected career officials who've been fired for doing their job. Thousands more are being pushed out with your buyouts and the threat of mass firings, and entire divisions are being eliminated, and grants have been canceled illegally. So I have questions about how and why those decisions are being made, and importantly, whether you're adequately resourcing DOJ to do its job. But before I turn to my questions, I do want to raise my alarm about the troubling pattern of trampling basic rights. Detainees, including U.S. citizens, being shipped overseas without any due process. Elected officials are detained for conducting oversight, and a U.S. senator gets tackled to the ground for asking questions at a press conference. This is not the country I know or the values I believe in, and I hope that colleagues on both sides of the aisle will agree with that. Now, to the questions. Yesterday, and I know that Senator Van Hollen raised this issue, a former DOJ attorney filed a protected whistleblower complaint accusing Deputy AG Emil Bove and senior DOJ leadership of defying court orders, including through, quote, lack of candor, deliberate delay, and disinformation, unquote. The complaint also accuses this administration of firing the whistleblower for, quote, telling the truth to the court. These allegations are deeply concerning. Now, I know you said that you can't discuss the case, but can you confirm that you agree that this administration should follow court orders?
We will follow court orders, Senator. The entire administration will follow court orders. The problem arises in the district courts. All these district courts throughout the country are tying our hands. And here's how we will follow them when we get to the United Supreme Court.
I need to ask
we're winning.
A number of questions.
And so, yes, we're following the orders of the court.
Let me ask my questions. Can you confirm you will not allow any conduct like what is alleged to continue at the DOJ?
I'm not going to talk about anything that's alleged. What I will talk about with you, hold on, you asked me a question and I get to answer it. What you asked me, alleged conduct that's part of a pending whistleblower lawsuit that was filed on the eve prior to Emil Bove's hearing today.
I'm not asking about that
suspicious. Hold on, let me keep going. I would run through a wall for Emil Bove and Todd Blanche.
Like to continue with my questions. I have very limited time. Thank you. I just want you to confirm for this you will not allow conduct like that at the DOJ. Yes or no?
I will always support and defend Emil Bove, and I will defend Todd Blanche. They are two of the finest people I know and two of the ethical people I know.
Let me keep going here. Now, in April, DOJ abruptly terminated over 300 public safety grants that had already gone through a very rigorous and fair and apolitical application process with no explanation. This is funding to investigate and prosecute drug trafficking, to support foster care kids who experienced abuse or neglect, to expand access to forensic exams to prosecute violent crimes like sexual assault. These really senseless cancellations have already forced public safety organizations to cut employees and services. So I want to ask you, when you cut off the community-based violence intervention and prevention initiative funding, were you aware it is used to prevent and reduce violent crime?
In a powerful and emotional Senate exchange, Senator Patty Murray delivers a searing critique of what she calls a deeply alarming breakdown of justice under the current Department of Justice leadership. Accusations of whistleblower retaliation, canceled grants, and defiance of court orders are at the heart of this political firestorm. Today we dive deep into the most tense and revealing moments of the hearing, and why this could be a turning point for the DOJ and the nation. The hearing opened with Senator Murray calling out the Department of Justice for what she describes as chaos and corruption. But it was her reference to a whistleblower complaint that turned heads. The complaint claims the whistleblower was fired simply for telling the truth to the court. Senator Murray demanded accountability, but Attorney General Bondi refused to discuss the allegations, instead doubling down on his defense of the officials named.
I will always support and defend Emil Bove, and I will defend Todd Blanche.
Murray didn't stop there. She raised grave concerns about what she sees as a collapse of legal norms, U.S. citizens allegedly detained without due process, elected officials tackled for asking questions, and a DOJ seemingly bowing to the will of one man.
This is not the country I know or the values I believe in.
As Bondi deflected, the senator sharpened her focus, pressing for a yes or no commitment to upholding court orders. But even that was met with evasive answers. In April, the DOJ terminated over 300 public safety grants funding that supported everything from drug enforcement to forensic exams for sexual assault victims.
These really senseless cancellations have already forced public safety organizations to cut employees and services.
Bondi admitted cuts were made but promised that many grants have been turned back on. Still, his apparent lack of awareness about the specific impact of those cuts, especially on sexual assault investigations, left Murray visibly frustrated.
One of the most critical moments came when Senator Murray accused the DOJ.
Senator, you weren't here for that, so I'm going to have to repeat myself. We have cut grants. I think we've cut 6%. But if we have cut a grant that you feel should not be cut, please reach out to me. I will personally look at it. We've turned multiple grants back on. Okay. We have an appeal process. But if you want to come to me directly, I would be happy to sit down with you and look at that and help you.
I'm happy. I appreciate that.
Again, we're doing everything we can.
Okay, but let me just ask you, when you cut off the Expanding Access to Sexual Assault Forensic Examination grant, were you aware that that grant helps our authorities prosecute rape and sexual assault?
I have no idea about that specific grant you're talking about. That's why I said if you want to come sit down with me, I would never cut a grant intentionally that has anything to do.
Those recipients on the other end across the country.
Can you give me the details of that grant?
I can absolutely do that, and my staff will get that to you. But those are two critical ones that I just wanted to ask you about today.
Again, we've turned many grants back on, and will continue to.
Works in this Senate hearing reveal a Justice Department under siege, not just from political forces outside, but from fractures within. Will Congress push back? Will the courts intervene? Or will the erosion of institutional independence continue unchecked? Subscribe to stay updated on the biggest political stories shaping America's future. Let us know in the comments, do you believe the DOJ is still acting independently, or has it become a political tool? Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged.